Did you know that there is science behind it why failures keep failing and winners keep winning? If you've been stuck in a cycle of failures, this video is going to change everything for you. I'm going to break down how to reprogram your mind for success and the exact steps you need to take to start winning at life again. In my previous video, I talked about how the past 2 years I've been facing a lot of failure in my life. Going from university graduate to unemployed, having no success in job application process, starting my own business, having to close it, all the self-doubt, time pressure, and the society's expectations on what and how you should have already achieved by now. It felt like nothing was working out for me, and if this sounds like you, if you can relate to this, then you really need to know about this theory that I'm about to share with you. And this theory I'm talking about is called the winner effect. And the best part is that everyone can use it to turn their life around from failure to success. In this video, I'll share with you exactly how to turn your life around from failure to success by using this winner effect. I'll tell you what is this winner effect exactly, how to activate it, and what might be blocking you from using it, how to not lose it, and finally, I will share with you a practical formula that you can use already today to activate this winner effect. So before we can get into the how to activate the winner effect, we first need to know what is this winner effect exactly so that you can use it to your best advantage. This theory was first introduced by Ian Robertson in his book called Surprise, Surprise, The Winner Effect. In its simplicity, the winner effect is a phenomenon that occurs in someone's life when they start winning. And the exact same way, the losing effect occurs in someone's life if they keep failing all the time. It actually goes even so far that it makes changes to your brain and nervous system, which will then encourage more winning or losing depending which streak are currently on. So basically, when you get a win, it alters your brain chemistry in a way that you become more confident in yourself, you start to believe into yourself, and all this higher your chances to win again because you already did it once, and the more you win, the more you keep winning. On the contrary, if you keep losing and failing at your life all the time, your brain chemistry gets altered towards losing. Your confidence goes down and you start to doubt yourself more. That's basically why winners keep winning and the losers keep losing. But since your brain gets altered to win by winning more, then theoretically we can also reverse engineer it. So you can reprogram your mind to win by being confident in yourself, by staying disciplined, gaining experience, and not breaking promises to yourself. So if you say that you're going to do something, you do it. Now, finally, let's talk about the juice. How to activate this winner effect? Well, it's fairly simple. You need to collect a library of wins. Preferably, you start gathering really small wins that don't really feel like much of an effort. For example, Mike Tyson, that big guy in boxing, he got to the top of boxing by starting quite small. When he was just starting his career, his managers booked him battles against opponents that he would for sure win. And he did. That's how he collected his library of wins, and that's how he started to get grip of the winner effect. So what does this mean to you? You need to think of the smallest steps that you can take towards your goals. Break down your big goals into smaller goals, and those smaller goals into actionable steps that you can track, which then sets you on the path towards winning. So if you want to make 10K a month, that goal might sound really scary and unreachable to you right now if you make 2K or less. So in this case, instead of writing 10K as your goal, write 3K, then 4K, then 5K, then 6K, 7, 8, 9, 10. This way you are breaking down your bigger goal, which is 10K, into smaller ones that are more reachable and don't feel so scary, especially if you're making now 2K, 3K doesn't sound so scary anymore, does it? After you broke it down into smaller goals, you need to add their steps that you think you need to take in order to reach each of the goals. So to make from 2K, 3K, you need to land either one client of 1K or 2 clients of 500. In order to get 1 to 2 clients, you need to make, let's say, 50 cold calls or run ads with a certain budget and certain conversion rate. This way, you are making it so much more reachable to yourself, because while you're working towards that 10K, by using those smaller milestones and focusing on them, you're also creating yourself the confidence and the trust in yourself, and you start to see that, oh, I actually can do this. And while you start growing from 2K to 3K, from 3K to 4K, from 4K to 5K, and so on, you start to believe into it more and more that it's actually possible for you. And this way you are actually rewiring your brain to believe into yourself and be like, hey, I can actually do this. And that's how you start winning. In other words, you're basically gaining confidence in your abilities. Or let's say you have your dream job, your dream position, dream title in your dream company. Well, don't settle for anything less than. Maybe you cannot get this job now because it's not reachable to you, your experience-wise, but that's okay. Think long-term. What experience do you need to gain to get that job, let's say, in the next 2 years? And then go and get yourself that experience. Or maybe you want to get into your dream uni. Break it down into smaller goals. How many hours a day do you need to study? Are there some extra courses you can take? Make yourself as prepared as possible to get yourself in. Or if you want to get 100k followers on social media, well, break it down into 1k, then 2k, then 3k, then 10, 20, 30, until it's 100. This way you don't lose motivation because you're also celebrating the smaller steps, the little milestones on the way towards your bigger goal. I, for example, here on YouTube just wanted to get 10k subs, but then I very soon noticed that I started to dislike this whole thing because going from 0 to 10k can take a while, especially here on YouTube. So then I had an internal discussion with myself that am I doing this only for the subscriptions and likes, or am I actually liking what I'm doing here on YouTube? And then I broke down this goal of 10k subscribers into smaller ones to make it more fun. And I must say that at first I didn't actually believe into myself that I could ever get there. But once I broke down this 10k into smaller goals and I started to track it, like, okay, now I got 500 subscribers, then I got 1000, and now I have 2000, I started to believe into myself more and more that, hey, I can actually get there. And now when it comes to this winner effect, believing into yourself is really important, because if you are not believing into yourself, you're blocking yourself from this winner effect. And the way you increase your self-belief is by gaining experience. That's why breaking it down into smaller goals is helpful. And if you manage to get yourself on the track of winning, then you can lose it if you have poor self-belief. In general, negativity affects in a bad way the winner effect. I literally lost my years-long winning streak because I was so worried after my graduation. I had so much negativity around the idea of working 9 to 5 that it affected my whole energy, which then started this momentum of bad luck because I was in the energy of lack and worry instead of abundance and everything always works out for me type of energy. It started to affect my entire life and everything I did. When I was making sales calls to get marketing clients, I barely landed any, although I have previous record of landing marketing clients. But because I was vibrating so low, my self-belief was completely destroyed, so obviously I wasn't going to land any clients with that type of energy. But the point is that I just went on a strike of failures, and every failure made things just worse and worse. Being graduated, being unemployed, failing my first business, all that resulted into more and more negativity and kickstarted the momentum of bad luck in my life. So here's the thing, I have experience from the both sides, the winner and the loser. And I can say you that the biggest difference whether you end up losing or winning is this. I moved to Gothenburg to Sweden during my studies to do my internship at naked.com. And if you don't know, getting an apartment in Gothenburg is a mission impossible. It is really hard to find an apartment, and even harder if you're trying to search for short stay. Well, I found an apartment through one Finnish girl for 1 month, but my internship was 3 months. So I had to also search for something while I was still there. And I almost ended up homeless. I couldn't find an apartment anywhere. It was overpriced. I even had one case where it seemed really like some kidnapping scenario. Basically, I just couldn't find any apartment anywhere for a normal price, I mean. But I refused to put my hands down. I was so determined that I am going to get myself an apartment. I will have an apartment. It will be for a good price and it will be my own. It is the last day before I have to move out. I get a message on Facebook from a girl, and she's writing me that, "Hi, I noticed in this Facebook group that you are searching for a place to stay. I am leaving Gothenburg to Borås, which is another city near Gothenburg in Sweden, for work, and while I'm gone you can stay in my place." It was exactly for the same dates that I needed an apartment. It was for a normal price and it was entirely for me. And it was in the city center of Gothenburg, which was 15 minutes away from my internship place. When I read that message, I thought this is a scam. Someone is again trying to kidnap me or whatever, but I literally had no other option than to believe that this is true. I wrote her back, we agreed on the time that I come look at the apartment. I went and it was just perfect for my situation. It wasn't a scam, it was real, and I moved in there the next day. An exactly similar kind of story I also have from Amsterdam. Getting an apartment or even a room in Amsterdam is really, really hard, and I still did it in a very short time. So the key words here are energy and believing into yourself. In my losing effect experience, I kept losing, because I lost my confidence. I doubted myself, I had negative energy, and I was vibing low. In my winning example, I had good energy, I was vibing really high, and I believed into myself to the really last moments. I took it for granted that I will find an apartment in a city where it's nearly impossible to find an apartment in such a short time. That's the type of mindset you have to be in. You have to stay positive. You cannot let negativity eat you up, because once it gets a small grip of you, it swallows you whole. You have to believe into yourself, and you can increase your self-belief by gaining experience from those small wins. And you need to stay positive as well. Positivity is what increases your vibes and energy. In general, train yourself to look at things from a positive point of view instead of the negative one. Didn't get the job? Well, there's something better out there for me. Didn't get into my dream uni? Well, that's fine. At least I can spend a gap year and have rest from tight schedules, tons of studying and partying. Client didn't pay? Well, let's make them pay instead of drowning in self-doubt and thinking that, oh, maybe they didn't like my work and that's why they're not paying me. Or maybe the fact that they're not paying you has nothing to do with the quality of your work, but it actually has to do with the fact that your client is an asshole. Learn to find positivity in every situation in your life, because believe me, that way your life will get so good. Winners always look at the positive side of things. They never complain, they never look at the negativity, they're never pitying themselves. They always look at the positive things and what is the lesson or the positive thing that they can take out from every situation that happens with them. Now, finally, I'm going to share with you the practical formula to activate this winner effect in your life. After spending some time analyzing my winner and losing periods, I noticed there's one really key difference between my goal orientation. Whenever I've been on a winning streak in my life, I've been really clear about what I want. I knew exactly what I wanted, my goals were clear, and I might have prepared for those goals even years ahead. I've just been really sure that this is what I want and I'm going to get it. And whenever I've been on a streak of failures, like not so long time ago, I've been usually dwelling, not really sure or clear of what do I want. So the key word here is clarity. And I'm not talking about the kind of clarity where I have a whole life planned out, where I just wake up one morning and know exactly what I want to do the rest of my life. No, I'm talking about the clarity of my next step. What do I want to do next? My next goals. How is my next chapter going to be? So here's exactly what to do to activate this winner effect in your life. 1. Decide what you want from life. 2. Write it down. 3. Break it down into goals. 4. Focus on it. If you really decide that, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and you put your focus there, your energy goes there. You start getting what you want, aka you start winning. And if deciding really gives you a lot of trouble, then this might help you. You don't have to decide for your entire life right now. Just decide your next step. What feels right to do now? What do you want to do now? Focus on writing your next chapter, not the entire book.